What's going on, traders? Hope everybody had a great Thursday. It is May 11th, and we are looking at the daily chart here of the S&P 500. Markets were pretty much flat today. Final print 412.13, closing red 0.17%. Before we get into any more depth, of course, have to mention that this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only, and if you're enjoying the content that we are providing about the markets, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, hit that notification bell. That way you are alerted every time we post a new update about the market. Alright, so that being said, markets tried again to break this trend line here. Could not do it. Sellers could not get us down. We tried to break, dip just below the trend line. The 20-day period moving average here on the daily holding up strong, and we did in fact end up closing again above that key 9-day moving average. So bulls still firmly in control, but as we trade in this range, especially while we've got value area high here, I'm really looking to see if this is a wider distribution that's going to be taking place here. I'm starting to, let's see, do we have, no, I don't remember which one it's on. Okay. Yeah, we were looking at that Wyckoff. This is the weekly here. Let me get off that really quickly. When we were looking at that, the Wyckoff, and let me get rid of this channel here. Okay, cool. All right, so we're looking at this accumulation zone and this distribution zone, and we're back in it, and we seem to be making that same type of pattern here. So I want to see what's going on. I'm going to call a shot and say I've got about another week of the bulls kind of being in control, maybe having a chance to come. If I'm going to have to guess, I'm going to say we're going to come back probably up to test the top of this channel area one more time, maybe within next week. But come the 17th, between the 17th and 18th, between the 17th and 19th, maybe the 18th and 19th, between there, I think we'll start to see a different tone in the market, and we might start to sell down to the lower part of this range. So let's see. My shot is that we ride back up here into the end of next week, and then we start to roll back over down towards these lower area of the range. That is my estimation, and we'll see if I'm right here. But either way, it's interesting how we're still hanging out in this area. Everybody's talking about this balance, this consolidation, this range that we've been trading in. So, I don't really need to get too much more into that, but definitely wanted to point out, from that Wyckoff perspective that we have been watching, we seem to be setting up for that same cycle again. So, not too much to say about the fibs here that we've been watching, still in this megaphone pattern. And yeah, not too much has changed as far as that's concerned. So let's briefly go over the price action that we saw today, and I'll just go over this really quickly here. We had a beautiful sell-off, and actually something I want to show you guys here. I don't have it on this one, but again, a beautiful sell-off. We came back up in the afternoon session here. Okay, there we go. I can see a little better. Came back up in the afternoon, in the overnight session, right back into the 786. Then we see some nice sell coming in, and we came into that key 410 area, value area low here. Caught this reversal coming back up right into the 618. Boom, hit the short, rolled over, faded this flag, back down. From here, really, what is this? This is from our low. This is a higher low, okay? So from here, if you had this in mind, you could have potentially tagged this still with minimum risk by these value area lows here again. And a nice trade. I didn't catch this long personally, but I did catch this long and this short. which was nice. And what I'm going to try to do is work with the buddy and get some of these live trades actually recorded for you guys. So hopefully stay tuned for that. But the other trade I did take here, this flag up at the top of the range, didn't trust it. I faded 2 flags today. This one as well. This one didn't pay quite as nicely, but I got about 5 or 6 points on it. Yeah, and I traded this on futures short, and I traded this on long on the futures and options. But that was my only options trade. Anyway, but we came down here, sold back into pretty much the base of this 2 o'clock high that we had right in this area here. So we sold into here, and then the last 15 minutes we saw a nice little break of this descending wedge that we had. And yeah, so I mean, it was pretty straightforward, but definitely a range day overall. You could see the descending wedge there, but pretty much a range day overall. But a couple of nice opportunities for the longs and the shorts. So, but either way, yeah, I mean, what was the low? 410. The high was 412. What, $2 in the session, pretty much. So, you know, pretty ridiculous. Either way, you know, these fibs really have been playing out pretty nicely. So, you know, for me, you know, I certainly will be watching this trend line coming into tomorrow. And I see, you know, I don't know, we're going to see when the open is here, but we have this 411, 412 area that, you know, we've certainly talked about quite a bit being an area. And let's get off the 5 minute because I don't necessarily trust that. Okay, here we go. This is a little better. All right. Let me just delete this. Okay, so, you know, if we start to crack this trend line and certainly get back below this 411, 60 area, be looking for more sells. Really, they're going to have to get under that 411. That can drive us back down into these lows. We'll have to see, you know, what goes on in the overnight session. We're clearly trying to run up again, getting kind of blocked here by 30-minute value area high. But we could have a situation kind of, you know, what I was thinking yesterday, and I didn't watch yesterday's video, and I can't remember what I said after I recorded it, but at this point I can't remember. But I was looking for this move, you know, in the morning, you know, where we would come up and then roll back over. But they did it again in Globex. So we'll see, because for today, again, for tomorrow, coming into, well, I guess it's Thursday now. So for coming into tomorrow, I would still be thinking the same thing, that we would come up, rally up, and then roll back over. But this might be just as high as we get. And still, you know, overall, if we're looking, what do we have here? This is our swing high, lower high, lower high, if this is in fact the lower high. But either way, if we do come up, you know, we still could have just really technically another lower high if we came into it. So, you know, you could make, you know, and you really need 3 touches, so you don't know if this is going to actually project. But if we're just going on the angle that it has been, you know, if we come up here and come up to that 414 area here, maybe 414.80, maybe 75, you know, in that range. You never have a support or resistance that's, you know, right, you know, on the penny, but that's why I like supply and demand a bit better. But certainly got pretty damn close here. Either way, seeing about running up into this in the morning and then rolling back over and continuing to stay in the range. We could see another day like that. I'm not sure we're going to have another trend day, but volatility probably still going to be somewhat compressed after it really, for a lack of a better word, you know, shot its load here on all this movement. So, you know, it's likely to see, you know, continued compression in this area, you know, and, you know, we could do this. Sure. But, you know, this is rewarding patient traders waiting for areas that it comes into that make sense here. you know, if you were doing the fibs here, okay, maybe you wouldn't, maybe you would have taken, if you were doing futures, maybe you would have taken the trade up here, and then waited for a short here. But it's just a matter of not trying to catch every little move in the range, and just waiting for that setup. Because here, perfect, right at the 618, boom, short, bam, down. You're done for the day. This one, you know, you do this one with your regular size, you know, smaller size, boom, done, beautiful. So, you know, less is always more. I'm a big proponent of that. And you know, if you know, I already kind of, I think I posted the futures chart, but it was the same situation on the futures. We didn't quite get there. Actually, let me just readjust it a little bit. Make sure I'm getting that swing low. All right, well, we didn't quite get there. It's actually a little cleaner on the S&P, but we got pretty close. So, but the other trades were nice. Anyway, so yeah, so that's what I'm going to be looking for tomorrow. I'm going to wait to see, you know, we're not going to really see any move until we break either one of these swing highs, swing lows. But I'm going to see about us coming up and then rolling back over. And if we come back down into the bottom part of the range, I'd probably be looking for that long again here around the 50 or maybe even the 38. So we'll have to see. If it doesn't get there, I'm not going to do anything, you know, and that's fine. You know, I still like to play up the volume profile, so I will be watching that as well to see, you know, I mean, if we do break, you know, here and we come into the hourly point of control, I might consider that, you know, because you've got, I could do a 30-cent risk there under that 411 major area. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, then that's fine too. And then maybe I might look for a long down in this area. But so far, buying the dip overall has been working. Just waiting for those key areas to engage the market, and following your plan. Either way, if a trade works or doesn't work, again, we're always trying to follow our plan. So that's the most important thing, of course. So yeah, so we'll see how tomorrow shapes up. It is going to be Friday, so I don't know. You know, we got a beautiful trend day last Friday. Are we gonna get the same thing today? Yeah, you know, I don't know about that, but we'll have to see. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed. Take care and have a good rest of your evening.